Stampers. Today we're going to make this little mini notebook, and this is what it looks like when you open it up. Isn't it cute? You can put pictures in there, journal, whatever you want. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so here's the pieces that I'm going to be using today. We're going to use a piece of 12 by 12 designer paper, and this is from the In Color. And then I'm using a piece of the chipboard, but it's not really chipboard. It's more like the covering of the paper pack, and this is what I use for mine. This is the back of the designer paper, this back piece right here. So I just cut that at 3 1/4 by 3 1/4, and I cut two of those. And then I cut two more pieces, and this is cut at 4 1/4 by 4 1/4. And I'm using the same designer paper, just a different design. Okay, so first we're going to go ahead and grab the 12 by 12. Let me get my cutter, and I'm going to remove the blade, just so I can score a little bit easier. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to score it at 3 inches, 6 inches, and 9 inches. Okay, then you're going to go ahead and turn it, and you're going to do the same thing. You're going to score it at 3, 6, and 9. Okay, so first we're going to go ahead and fold all the score lines first, and then we'll come back in and cut that. So let's go ahead and fold all the score lines first. Okay, you might want to go ahead and fold it the other way also, just so that it moves a little bit easier. Up at 3 inches. Okay, so then I'm going to take the cutting blade and I'm going to use the cutting arm, and I'm going to position the blade, the little arrows, right on the 9 inch on the arm. And I'm just going to cut this all the way down. And then I'm going to slide this down to 9 inches. And do the same thing. Position the blade at 9. And cut that all the way down. So now you're going to slide your designer paper down to 6 inches. Okay, so then 6 inches. Then you're going to start all the way up at the top, and you're going to cut down to 3 inches. With the blade. Okay, so when you're finished, your designer paper should look like an M. You see that? So you have the two cuts here, and then the one in the center going the opposite way. Okay, so now you're just going to go ahead and start folding all your fold lines, and since we pre-folded, it should just fold right into place. Just like that. So then it should be folded up to a little book, and then you're just going to take your bone folder and make a really nice crease on all the sides. Just like that. So then you're going to open up your book, and you're going to adhere each page together. So let me go ahead and do this. So this first page right here is going to attach to this page. So flip that over. And then the next section is going to flip to this side here. I know it's very confusing, but once you make one, you'll see how it opens up. Okay? So then that one, then this one is opening up at the bottom, so I'm just going to flip it over, and I'm going to adhere this one together with the other page. And this one's going to flip over here. Okay, then this one's going to flip this way. Okay, so then this one is going to flip this way. This one's flipping this way. Okay, so there's your book. Ah, isn't it cute? All right, so now to make the
so I'm
cover,
going to grab my
cardboard or my chipboard or whatever you have handy. And these are cut at 3 1/4 by 3 1/4. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and adhere these with the snail adhesive. You might want to use the sticky strip, but for the sake of time, I'm just going to use the snail. And you're going to position this right in the center of your 4 1/4 by 4 1/4 piece of designer paper. And then you're just going to trim the edges off a little tiny bit. Just like that. And then you're going to put some adhesive. Now I like putting it on the edge and also on the cardboard or the chipboard, whatever you're using, just so that you get a really good adhered edge. And then all you're going to do is you're just going to go ahead and fold that over. And do this to all 4 sides. I'm just going to put a little bit more on this edge so it holds the edges down really nice and smooth. Okay, so then this is going to be the cover of our book, just like that. Okay, so then you're just going to go ahead and do the exact same thing as you did the first time. Take your cardboard or your chipboard, place it right in the center, trim the edges off. And then put adhesive. And then just start folding. Okay, so here's the front and the back of my book. Now what I'm going to do next is I'm just going to go ahead and put adhesive onto the front and the back side of the book. And then take your ribbon and you're going to position that right in the center of your book. And then I also like to add some more adhesive on the back side of the ribbon so it adheres to the cover really good. So then take your book, the cover, and I'm just going to position this right over top of that cover, just like that. And then take your adhesive and put more on the back side, bringing your ribbon over to meet the other side. And then take your back or your front and position that right over top of that. And that's going to make your book. Oh my gosh, I love it. So cute. And then you can just go ahead and tie it to the side. And then for the finished one, I used the same designer paper and I used the 2.5-inch circle punch. And then I used the 2-step bird punch and I punched that out with the same designer paper. And then the branch is using the crumb cake, and then I used the Sierra Sand with the 2 3/8 scallop circle punch, and then I added a bunch of basic rhinestones. So that's it. Thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you later. Bye!